Happy Monday, everyone. Maybe you're watching this on Monday, but I'm here. This is Jen, and I'm going to talk about the persuasive presentation, which is the next individual presentation that you will be giving. And I'm going to go through the specifics of the assignment and then talk more about how we will be recording those and submitting them. So, the persuasive presentation prompt is basically for this assignment, what we want you to do is you are going to try to persuade your audience to take some kind of action on a policy related to food insecurity. So one of the things we're going to talk about this week is there's different sort of types of persuasive questions. There's questions of fact, questions of value, is something right or wrong? Questions of fact, is something true or not true? And then there's questions of policy. And basically what that is even though it's called question policy, it doesn't have to be about a policy, but that is when you are encouraging someone to take or not take some kind of action, that something should or should not be done. And so what this assignment is designed to do is to help you to think about what sort of policies at the local, state, national level would impact food insecurity. So in this case, when we say policy, we want an actual sort of government regulation, a law, a program, a rule, etc. And the actions that you're trying to persuade your audience to take is either to vote for this, and in the case of this assignment, if you can pretend that if there is a policy you think would be helpful, you could, for this case, you can say that it is up for a vote in the next election. You can encourage people to contact a representative asking them to support this change or, submit a bill. If it's not a representative, if there's like an agency that passes regulations, like say OSHA, which is workplace safety, if it would somehow be relevant, that would be good. Or you can ask your audience to sign a petition. Okay, so in terms of the policy, this can be an actual policy that someone has proposed. So you can do some research, find out what have people had. Is there something coming up on the ballot? Or you could create your own. The policy you advocate for should be one that will address a current social issue that relates in some way to food insecurity. So your policy doesn't necessarily have to say provide more food, but if you can draw a link and say, hey, if we change the rules about minimum wage, how would that change food insecurity? If we provided government-funded daycare, how would that increase people's ability to work and therefore be able to purchase food, etc.? So consider all the factors that can contribute to food insecurity as you're selecting topics. So you can be really broad on this. We just ask that you make that link for us if it does not directly deal with food. And then in arguing for your policy, you explain what the problem is, how the policy you're advocating for will address that problem. Okay, so the specific requirements for this one, you'll need to orally cite at least 4 sources. So we need to hear, according to, in a 2020 article from the New York Times, etc. You need an introduction with all 4 parts: attention getter, relevance, why should we care, credibility, why should we listen to you talk about this, your thesis that previews your main points, clear transitions between main points. Your presentation must be persuasive, not just informative. So at some point you need to make it very clear that you are asking me to do something. You'll need to include at least 1 individual aid, include a narrative somewhere in your presentation, and that will be 4 to 6 minutes long. So here was my example that I came up with last night. You should vote for State Bill X that would increase the age of children covered under WIC from 5 to 6. And because currently it covers mothers and children up to 5. And so in my argument, I would need to explain why the benefits of feeding that extra year, etc. So in terms of actually recording your presentation, what we would like you to do is to record yourself from the waist up, at least. You could record your full body. So that might mean asking someone to record you for you with either a camera, a phone. You can use your computer. Now, in terms of the visual aid, what we want you to do is pull up your visual aid either on your laptop, or if you're using your laptop to record, you could print your visual out and hang it or put it on the wall next to you or on something. Or if you don't have a printer and you need to use your computer to record, sketch out what it would look like. Honestly, in the video, we're not going to be able to see that. We're going to grade the visual aids that you submit to us, but we want you to interact with it just like you would as if it was projected on the screen in our class. So if you have any questions about that, let us know. You're going to record one take. There shouldn't be what are they called? Cuts in there. So you will record that presentation, upload it to either MediaSpace, Purdue MediaSpace, or YouTube as a private video, unless you want people to be able to find it. And then you will submit the link to us. Additionally, we will have a discussion board where you will also submit your link, and that's how we'll do peer reviews, and we'll talk about that. So the other thing that you'll need to do this week is you will need to fill out the persuasive topic form. So if you go into course content under persuasive presentation, this unit's now open. You will find the Word document. Just a little heads up, this is the same topic form that's used generally across all the 114 classes. So ignore where it says the organization event I want to persuade the audience to support, and just focus on the policy and then tell us exactly what you want us to do. Vote, call a representative, etc. And then explain why this is worthy and how it will save the problem. And that you need to submit by 5 o'clock on Sunday. Okay. So again, let us know if you have any questions, and I really look forward to hearing the ideas you come up with.